One, two, three. Hi guys, welcome to another Blender tutorial. If you're a new subscriber, I upload every day video, 100 subscribers. Today we're gonna play with some curves with follow path in Blender, and we're gonna play with some animated models. Okay, we're gonna combine this together. So I'm gonna select this cube by the left click, X and delete. Shift A on the curve, I'm gonna choose Bezier. S and move the mouse to make it bigger. I'm gonna click tab and right click and choose subdivide to add maybe couple of points, maybe 2 points. Now I'm gonna select maybe this point and GY and move this aside to create some kind of different shape of this Bezier. And maybe I'm gonna select this point and GY too to create maybe, I don't know, this fucking shape, something like this, and tap, and I have this stupid path, as you can see. Yes. Now I'm gonna load my animated model, of course, so import FBX, and I'm gonna choose walk-in animation. You can animate your models in Maximo.com, just tab in Google for free. You can animate your 3D models. So first, what we wanna do, I have my animated models. Yes, as you can see, if I'm gonna just click play, my character just walks. It's very simple how you can basically add your animated models to this path and whatever path you create. So first you wanna create new window, so just go right here on the corner and just hold the left click and just leave the left click. Move mouse to create this window and leave, okay, the left click. Click on this icon and we're gonna choose Graph Editor. And basically what you wanna do, select the amateur, and you have this line right here. This is the distance that my character just walks from point 0 to point end, basically, yes, to point 1 or whatever. So this is the distance. Always the line is the distance, yes. So I'm gonna select those keyframes and I'm gonna delay those keyframes. This is important stuff. First you wanna delay the distance basically that your character is walking. Now if I'm gonna just click play, my character just walks in place. It's good. Select the amateur, of course, and we're gonna choose right here on this icon follow path, and I'm gonna select my Bezier. So click on this, drop out and select Bezier. As you can see, this stupid bitch is right here, yes, on this Bezier. I'm gonna click N and I'm gonna adjust the rotation, something like maybe right here, yes, it's good, or whatever. As you can see, let's go. So what do we wanna do? Basically, if I'm gonna just click play, my character walks its place, but I can move right here on this follow path, this stupid bitch, yes, as you can see. But first, Control Z to undo this. First, I'm gonna select, of course, the amateur of my model, and I have those keyframes. And this is important. You wanna select those keyframes and just Shift E and choose third option. It's gonna repeat the same animation, the walk-in animation, okay? So Shift E and choose third option. If I'm gonna just click play, my character is moving. As you can see, the keyframes is ended, but it's still moving. It's repeated to infinite, basically, those keyframes. This animation, as you can see, she's still walking in place. So what we wanna do, just select maybe point on the timeline 1, yes, almost 0, and create right here on this follow path keyframe. And maybe I'm gonna select something like 250 or whatever. You can adjust always this stuff, yes. And I'm gonna just move this bitch right here, something like there, and I'm gonna just select the keyframe. And as you can see, my character just walks on this fucking path, and it's not good, but basically you must play around on the rotation and on the tempo on the walk. Okay, this is too fast, so I can move around because this is too fast, and I can play around on the rotation. So always remember to adjust right here on the timeline the end of this keyframe, yes, and whatever this, and like I said, you can create very strange, you know, path that your character gonna walk, some circle or whatever. You have this right here, the curves, and you can use curves with follow path to your animated models. It's very simple, yes, but follow those steps on the Graph Editor. Just delete this fucking line and repeat this by Shift E and third option, those keyframes. And basically what you wanna do, just select the amateur, yes, and adjust the keyframes and adjust the rotation too. So I'm gonna just rotation E, and I'm gonna choose rotation, and maybe I'm gonna just play around, and right here I'm gonna rotate this bitch, so on this direction, and once again E, rotation. I created the keyframes, And right here I must rotate this stupid bitch to in this direction goes the path. So always remember to rotate your character that the path good direction is, if that makes sense. So I just rotate right here when the line is, and E, and once again rotation to add the keyframe, and this bitch is walking, and right here this is the fucking turn. So I'm gonna turn this stupid bitch, maybe right here E rotation, and right here I'm gonna rotate on this direction because the path if it goes to this direction, E rotation. So you can play around on the turns, yes, by rotating your character. If I'm gonna just click play, wait guys, spacebar, as you can see my character just walks on the stupid path that I created in, I don't know, couple of minutes. And if I be not record this in this tutorial, I'll be just created this path in 1 minute. Okay, very simple stuff, yes. And you can, of course, this is too choppy a little bit, so always select the amateur and always adjust the end of the animation right here on this follow path that you created, yes, on this tool. So I'm gonna move maybe to have speeder, but always remember, if you're gonna move the end of the fucking movement of your character from this to this, the turns you're gonna move to, okay, because it's not gonna be on the same time. So as you can see, my character just walks and she just turns, and I can create whatever shape I want to basically to my character, yes. As you can see, it's a little bit choppy, but you can play around on those placement on those keyframes. So there is that. I'm gonna create new project. You can use this follow path and curves to create some roads and to animate your car too. It's very simple. So X delete, Shift A, I'm gonna choose mesh plane, S, Y, and move mouse to scale this on the Y direction. Now I'm gonna Shift A, I'm gonna add on the curve maybe once again Bezier S, and scale this Bezier right here to make it bigger. Tap to go to the edit mode, right click and choose subdivide. I'm gonna add more points to add some crazy stuff, yes, right here. And I'm gonna select the point and maybe GY to move this right here, yes, and right here GY to create some not very simple line, if that makes sense, yes, something like this. It's very like wee, this kind of shit. And once again click tab to go to the edit mode if you're gonna be done with your path, yes. Always remember, if you're gonna place some mesh on the curves, always subdivide the mesh. This is the plane, yes, this is gonna be our road. So this is the stupid plane. So I'm gonna select this by the left click tab to go to the edit mode, right click and choose subdivide. And I'm gonna subdivide this plane by the 50 times maybe. I add more geometry and once again click tab. What I wanna do, select the plane, go on the modifiers tab and choose curve modifier, and I'm gonna select this curve. As you can see, it's not good because I must rotate this plane. So N, and I'm gonna rotate on the Z direction on the 90 degrees. And as you can see, this just follow already. So I can move this mesh, this plane basically by G, X in this direction. Always remember GY, GX, and you can move wherever direction you create in those curves. Okay, I'm gonna move this plane in this direction. Look at the mouse. Wee. So GX, and I can move this, as you can see, let's go. It's almost like snake. So I can scale this SX to make it bigger on this path. And as you can see, I have already wrote. Yes, it's a little bit choppy because you can add more geometry. I'm not gonna do this because my PC is shit. But you get it, the basic idea. I created a very simple road using the curve and using the mesh. You can add some materials. And you can add some model. So I'm gonna show you Shift A, maybe I'm gonna add a cube. You can add right here on the Blender kit. I'm not gonna download this because this is just fucking tutorial, okay? You can download some car. And you can use the same technique that we use on the animated model to follow this curve, your car, okay? And you have basically animation of the car driving on this road. I'm gonna use cube. Wherever object you want, you can use. So I'm gonna scale this down by S and move the mouse. I'm gonna select my stupid cube. And what I'm gonna do, I wanna go right here on this icon left click and choose follow path, and I'm gonna select my Bezier or whatever it's called. Right here, as you can see, this is my stupid cube. Yes, and if I'm gonna just click right here on this icon, yes, to create a keyframe, it's gonna be starting point, and maybe right here, and I'm gonna move this in this direction. My cube just follow this path, and right here. If you're gonna animate the car, it's a little bit, like I said, complicated, because you must rotate your car in the good direction, like my model, okay, at the beginning of this tutorial. So if it's gonna be turned, you wanna rotate once again R, Z, and rotate in this direction, and E, and choose rotation, yes, keyframe, and it's rotating in this direction. And if you're gonna have the turn, once again R, Z, and rotate this on this direction, and once again E, and choose rotation to add keyframe. You get it, the idea? If it's gonna be turned right here, and it's turning, let's go the car, and right here it's turned. So once again R, Z, and rotate your car if you're gonna use car, and once again E, and rotation. Okay, you adding those keyframes on the turns that your car gonna look like it's turning, not like it's, you know, always driving in this direction, because it's stupid. It must turn, but using this curve. It's very simple. I hope you get the idea how this works. Just use some curves, subdivide some mesh, and add curve modifier first on your mesh. Place your mesh on the curve, and later on use some objects, maybe car, whatever you want, to follow this path, this Bezier, or whatever curve you're gonna add. And if I'm gonna just click play, you can animate some very crazy paths and models using this curve and modifier and follow path option in the Blender. So as you can see, I created the stupid stuff, and this can be car, this can be my animated model, this can be whatever I want. This is just tool, okay? I'm not creating some scenes, because my PC is shit. This is first stuff, and second stuff, you must understand how this works. It's not that complicated. You just adding curve, adding some subdivided mesh. You can place this mesh, like I said, in the curve, and follow curve. You can add some objects and follow curve right here. Follow curve and choose Bezier or whatever curve you're gonna add, or maybe amateur. Select the amateur of your animated model and add. And always forget, if you're gonna add amateur, change this to the graph editor. Just go right here on the corner, use this and graph editor, and delay the line. First delay the distance of your animated models, and later on Shift E, select those keyframes of the animation, of the walking animation in place, or running animation, whatever animation you want, and select this Shift E and choose third option, and it's gonna be placed around on this path. I hope you get it. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. Play around on this stuff. It's very simple. Okay, you can create some crazy animated car in a couple of minutes. Just adjusting the rotation of the car, and adding some materials, adding some fucking, I don't know, street signs or whatever. Simple stuff. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video, guys.